All right, morning everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Daily High. I will be your only host today, Tone Vase, coming to you a little bit later than usual when I am in the United States. But it's a new week. Matt is out in, I think he should be in the Philippines by now, and he's got the big fight coming up in 24 hours. So how's the audio? How's the video? I need to double check all that before we move on with the charts. I'm wearing the new unconfiscatable hoodie. Thanks to all of you who came out to Las Vegas for unconfiscatable. That was great. I am back in the woods of Pennsylvania. It's a little chilly out here, though I am getting a little warm in this hood. This is a very warm hoodie. These are great. It was so nice when I came up here a few days ago, but there was a huge rainstorm over the last 24 hours. Rain literally just stopped. So I decided to set up outdoors. I'm on the wrong angle, so there's a lot of glare here. I'm going to go back to the other angle I had. All right, audio's good. Everything's going well. Okay. So let us go to the charts and see how this week is shaping out. Also, I am thinking of doing a Russia-Ukraine update on my personal YouTube channel later today. So I'll probably bring you that a little bit later today. Looks like a background filter. Yeah, no, it's not. It's my real background. I'll move the camera this way. There it is. That's the fire that I do. There was deer walking around earlier. I don't know. I don't see any now. But yeah. I got an old man rocking chair just to chill and work. It's nice. I'm gonna do a huge barbecue here for friends and family on Father's Day weekend next weekend. Okay, let's go to the charts. We have the weekly time frame here. So I'm saying cool chair. The weekly time frame is on an MRI warning candle. This is a very interesting development. Oh, I need to do the thing where I have the little bubble. I didn't have that setting set. This is basically like a brand new computer. My computer malfunctioned. I had to send it back to ASUS. I just got it back. I just reinstalled everything. But I need to put that setting where I click the button and you get these circles. But you can see with my mouse here, we have an MRI warning candle, but we are in now the 5th week of consolidation. If we go back to the week of May 12th, the week of May 12th opened at, where was the open? Open was at 104, right? Open was at 104, and the close was at 106.5. And the current candle has an open of 105.5 and currently trading at 108. So we've been consolidating for 5 weeks. So what does this mean to me? To me, this means that when the MRI top comes next week, I will not take that MRI top very seriously, like it's ready to reverse the market back to significant lows. I will see this entire move as consolidation, getting ready for the next upside. The only way I will consider the MRI top that's coming as a top if one of the following two scenarios happens. We go up significantly and make a new high above $115,000 sometime between current week, next week, or even the week after. Okay, so if over the next 3 weeks we go above 115, and honestly, if it's the week after that, if it's like the end of June, it would probably have to be closer to 120 than 115. But I'll talk about that if that happens. If we make a significant new weekly closing high and a significantly new weekly intra-week high, I will consider this a potential MRI top, and then we can debate, how far the pullback is going to be. But as of now, our highest weekly close is 109, and our highest intra-week high is 112. So I would need a high over 115 and a weekly close over 110. Like probably over 112 or close to 112, basically. That's what I want to see in the next 2 to 3 weeks, okay? And then I can consider this MRI top as a top. Right now, I'm considering this MRI top as a consolidation for an extra few weeks of consolidation, followed after the MRI top, followed by a massive upswing into the 130s. Okay, that's what the charts are telling me. Okay, what's another way I could consider an MRI top coming in? Well, if this week closes somewhere in the current vicinity below 110, and then next week starts at around 110, and then completely crashes and closes the week below 105. So if we have a consolidated week this week, and then next week prints an MRI top. Remember, the way we print an MRI top next week is if even a single trade takes place above $109,000. Well, technically $109,005. You can see in the up here where the C is for the close. You see where the close was on the week of May 29th. Sorry, May 19th. The week of May 19th, the close was 109,00427. So if we have a single trade above that next week, we will print an MRI top. Now, also this week has to close the week above 106.5. So both of those things have to be true. We have to close this week above 106.5 and have one trade next week above 109,004. That prints an MRI top. If we print an MRI top early in the week and the rest of the week is a total disaster, then, and we have a new 5 or 6 week weekly closing low, which means we would close below 105,000, I would consider this to be an MRI top, even though there was some consolidation. The MRI top, the week of the MRI top, if it's a collapsing week, I would consider that very, very bad, and I would prepare for mid-90s. So that's what we want to avoid. We want to avoid a total collapse on next week's candle, as if this week's candle closes above 106. There's a lot of what ifs here, which is why I will be bringing you more videos this week, hopefully with Matt on the line as well. And this trend line here is actually interesting because I think there is a high probability we are going to come back into the zone into 95 if we reverse, because we don't have to reverse, okay? We can avoid going down to 95 if we rally in June or early July above 120, and that puts support zone in the 110 area. But until we break above 115 and even closer to 120, we still don't have any strong support unless we come all the way down to the mid-90s. So there's still a little bit of work to be done. Let's look at today's candle. Today's candle is absolutely beautiful. We have a green star candle on the MRI right here. And that is a very, very good sign. And remember what I said in my last couple of videos, that I am looking for a green star candle and a close above the 20-period moving average. And we got that. And now all we need is the 128 to get above the 200. This is where the 200 is. It's the top of the green wave. And that's, so yeah, and this is where the 128-day moving average is. So the 28-day moving average should start to rise up very, very nicely once we get near the vicinity of new highs. And the 20 period is going to reverse real quick. And it's good that these two are now closer together. This is a very, very nice breakout. Remember what I said in last week's candle? This was my line in the sand here. All we needed to do was break 106, and I expected us to take off to the upside. That's exactly what happened. I also expected us to come down and test the 50-period moving average and bounce off of it. I just didn't expect us to do it so quickly. I thought it would take a couple of days, but instead it did it in one day. But the concept is still the same. There's time and price. I always talk about both time and price, but as long as one of them achieves its goal, we're good. And now, what is the next zone for a breakout? Well, this is the next zone. Everything that I said about this blue line over here applies to this blue line up here. And in fact, I don't even need this blue line anymore. I can just adjust this one. Look at that. That was good. Don't need extra lines. We've now broken above what was the all-time high daily close back in December and January, which is a great, great sign. And now this looks like an absolute beautiful rally. But when we reach this daily MRI top, I am going to be a little concerned. Remember this double top here on the daily? I can see something very, very similar. I just don't think we're going to fall this much again. But fall we might. I will say, all right, you know what? Let me be bullish, and then I'll be bearish later. Here's the short-term chart. Here's the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart has its fourth green star candle in a row. Every time we got one, we got a little bit of a pullback, but then we went higher, a little bit of a pullback, higher, a little bit of a pullback, higher. Now we're getting another one. These are the 4-hour green star candles. The 4-hour chart looks absolutely bullish. Let's see if we can make it to an MRI top. Or about the 1-hour chart. The 1-hour chart looks absolutely great as well. You can see how we pulled back at exactly 9 in the morning. This is why I never trade at 9 in the morning. This looks like a 10 a.m. reversal to me. Let's go to a 5-minute chart and see when we reversed. How close was it to 10 a.m.? And it was at exactly 10 a.m. Holy shit. Sorry I didn't bring you a stream at 10 a.m. It was absolutely pouring out here at 10 a.m. Where I am. And this is, what a beautiful 10 a.m. reversal. Beautiful reversal candle. At 5:55, we make the low. The 10 a.m. candle is already rising. Oh, man. I'm strongly considering just day trading again. That was a $1,000 move on Bitcoin. That was an awesome, awesome, awesome move. And this looks very, very bullish to me. We are on a 1-hour MRI top, so you may want to be a little bit careful here, right now. But the 4-hour, oh, sorry, it's a 5-minute candle, not a 1-hour. It's a 5-minute MRI top. I wouldn't give this, I wouldn't be too concerned on a 5-minute MRI top. But let's see where the hourly is. Oh, the hourly is about to give you a green star candle in 20 minutes. I'm very, very bullish here. I'm very bullish here. Bitcoin dominance. Ethereum had a little bit of a short-term dead cat bounce. And as Ethereum approaches zero from here on out, expect Bitcoin dominance to go to a new all-time high. I don't really need these things. I don't think they make sense at all. So here we are with Bitcoin dominance. This is Bitcoin dominance minus USDC and USDT. It used to be minus DAI as well, but I'm not really. I kind of removed DAI thinking that maybe my timeline would extend backwards, but it did not. I got to remember how to add DAI back in here. Yeah, I guess minus crypto cap dash DAI. We're at 69.2. Let's see where we're going to be. 69 point. Wait, did it go up? Now it says 69.32. What was it before? One second. I'm going to cut that out. X. Wait, so 69.32. And now it's 69.2. Right, so it's smaller. Okay, so yeah, it's negligible difference. Oh, but look. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 2019. Yeah, December 2018. Yeah, that doesn't change. Okay. Let me put that back in. Minus DAI. There we go. Right, so Bitcoin dominance went up a little bit by 0.1%. It's completely irrelevant. So the DAI stablecoin is actually completely irrelevant. I'm probably going to remove it again. I don't want to even mention this thing. Total scam. Wrapped Bitcoin on top of Ethereum. Well, what a dumb thing to do. Eventually, it's just going to get frozen and stolen. But it's only going to represent 0.1% of dominance, so that's completely irrelevant, so it doesn't matter. Either way, expect Bitcoin dominance to break the new all-time high when it comes to dealing with Bitcoin dominance versus stablecoins. S&P 500 weekly scale has a few more weeks to go to reach an MRI top. There is an MRI resistance, and there is the all-time high. The U.S. stock markets continue to go up, even though Los Angeles is burning down once again. What a shit show going on in Los Angeles. And I don't even care to talk about it. Maybe I'll talk about it a little on my personal YouTube channel. Maybe Motorist will join me. I think he might be in Los Angeles. I don't know. Look at the beautiful consolidation on gold. I really expected gold to top with the monthly and weekly MRI tops, but it's pretty damn resilient. And this is a beautiful consolidation, getting ready to do more upside here. I am bullish on gold. Oh, actually, gold should have been here. Here is the daily S&P 500. Keep in mind that daily S&P, well, the futures are on an MRI top. What about the cash market? The cash market waiting for the MRI to load. The cash market is also on an MRI top. Last time we had an MRI top. See this big candle on MRI top? This is what I meant in the beginning of the video when I said this would be very concerning for me. So imagine this is, see, this is candle number 8. This is our current weekly Bitcoin candle right here, number 8. And then the MRI top comes next week. But look at this S&P 500 daily disaster on the MRI top candle. If this happens in Bitcoin next week, I would be very, very bearish, looking for mid $90,000 move. But hey, Sam Backett, thanks for posting the formula. I think that's the same formula I'm using. Let me see. Yes. Yeah, thanks for posting that. I'll post mine just to make sure they're the same. There you guys go. That's the formula. Thanks, man. Getting distracted again. So this is the kind of candle you want to avoid next week, this May 21st daily candle. As of right now, the stock market is reaching a new swing high, and Bitcoin is not at a new swing high yet, because a new swing high would mean a new all-time high. You can see that the stock market made its all-time high over here at the end of February, and Bitcoin made it at the end of January. But the stock market pretty much had a double top with at the end of January, so that's where Bitcoin tops right here. You can see that they're kind of lined up. January 21st, Bitcoin makes its all-time high, and so does the stock market. But then the stock market kind of consolidated and made a slightly higher high, and Bitcoin already pulled back. So in a way, Bitcoin predicted the future of the stock market. And what about the bottom? Let's see which one bottomed first. So you can see that the stock market, it sucks that the stock market doesn't trade on the weekends, but Bitcoin does. So right here on April 7th, both Bitcoin and the stock market make a low. And I mean, if anyone says that Bitcoin is not correlated with the stock market, don't ever listen to them for any advice ever. I'm like, how in the world can Bitcoin and the stock market bottom on the same exact day? Okay. And then they both had an MRI buy weekly. You can see the WWW right there. These are the weekly MRI tops on both charts. I can move this up a little bit so you can see that the W's very, very clearly. So you can see how stocks bottomed on April 7th and Bitcoin bottomed on April 7th. And then they both had a massive day on April 9th. With the S&P, it was an MRI buy on April 9th. So you can see it a little clearer right here. And with Bitcoin, there was no MRI buy, but it's still April 9th. They both recovered on April 9th. April 9th right here, April 9th right here. Okay. And right now, they're both reaching for new highs. So I would be careful with the S&P a little bit here. There could be a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of a pullback. But if Bitcoin is doing well, that could predict where the S&P is going. Can I take a look at MSTR? Sure. MSTR is just going to follow Bitcoin. Remember what I said before? Bitcoin bottomed on April 7th. Where did MSTR bottom? MSTR bottomed on April 8th. And MSTR topped on November 21st. Wow, that was a massive top. But then the secondary top came on January 21st. That's when Bitcoin hit its all-time high, and pretty much so did the S&P. The S&P did have a higher high on February 22nd, but it was a higher high by like 30 cents. So it's completely irrelevant. It's a double top, but double tops do not last. Double tops historically do not last. That's why I'm expecting the S&P to still go to new all-time highs. Doesn't mean the U.S. economy is going to be doing well, but at least people will have some jobs because the stock market will be doing well. Okay, there's your MSTR. How long has this video been going on? We've been going on for 23 minutes. I'm going to anything else you guys want me to look at real quick? And then we're going to call it a day. GME. Oh, sorry. GME. GameStop. What a shit show this company's been. What's GameStop doing now? Are they buying Bitcoin? Man, if GameStop could convert, this insanity and just become a Bitcoin holding company like MicroStrategy, they do really well. I'm not sure how the order book is looking. I need to, chat with Joe Saz some more. Ethereum. So, I mean, GameStop looks very bullish here. Would I buy it? Probably not. But does the chart look bullish? Yes. But the daily chart looks bullish. Let me take that back. The weekly chart had an MRI warning top and an MRI top, but it's already in its 1 to 4 candle correction. I would hold off for like a week or two. And if it starts to break $31, I think GameStop could go significantly higher. Ethereum. All right, one look at Ethereum. I was discussing Ethereum with someone on chat this morning. Ethereum, guys, I maybe it's time to do a daily follow-up on Ethereum, only because there are way too many people that still believe in Ethereum, and they just can't believe the fact that Ethereum is going to go to new lows. Ethereum will go to new lows. I can guarantee it. I can pretty much guarantee my whole reputation on this. Okay, it will break this low against Bitcoin. Okay, it may hold up in dollar terms, but it is going to break this low. Ethereum bounced off of a very well-developed historical support right here. There was a monthly MRI top. It waited a little bit to align with the weekly MRI, sorry, a monthly MRI bottom or a monthly MRI buy opportunity. And it aligned, it waited a little bit, and then it aligned with a weekly version of the monthly version. Here is the monthly version, and then, the following month it aligned with the weekly version. And this is just a dead cat bounce. It bounced off of a double bottom, and double bottoms are designed for one thing: to dead cat bounce, come back to the double bottom, and go lower. And the same thing is going to happen when it reaches the next bottom, and the same thing is going to happen when it reaches the ultimate bottom of 0.00215 from 2016. Okay, this will be broken. The question is when, and has a top already been made? So this is a little bit tricky. This consolidation does have a bullish inclination, but it's not guaranteed, okay? Because I would have liked it better had Ethereum made it a lot closer to 0.03, had Ethereum gone up faster and made it into the MRI resistance zone and the next moving average and then rejected. This consolidation puts me at 50-50. 50-50 whether Ethereum is going to have one more leg higher or that's it for Ethereum. I don't really know. I don't think it makes that big of a difference. Basically, I think Ethereum's future to the upside versus Bitcoin is very, very limited. How high can Ethereum go? Well, Ethereum can still bounce up from here into the MRI resistance zone, meeting the yellow moving average. That is still a potential path for Ethereum. And once it comes back to the double bottom, Ethereum is going to be in serious, serious trouble. But it's also very, very possible that Ethereum does not have another leg higher. And once it breaks this moving average, it is still headed right into here. Okay, so these are your paths for Ethereum. So as long as you are in this zone, and let me just use round numbers for the zone coordinates. Let's round that up to a 5. Oh wow, that's a tight zone. And let's round that down to a 4, 5 maybe. Wait, that's not what I meant to do. What is this offset thing? I want these to be horizontal. Number 1 price bar, number 2 price bar. What? Wait, I'm confused. What does this do? Can these be the same? Oh, I'm just extending it. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. Hold on. I want these to be horizontal. Okay, so that has to be 0.025, 0.025. Okay, so that's these points. Okay. And what is this price offset? Okay, that's what it is. Okay, so let's do this then. I'm going to use round numbers here. Here are your numbers. 0.025 and 0.023. Okay, and this is good because it aligns with the moving average a little bit. Maybe 0.023 is even a little bit high. Yeah, so 1.5 offset was good. That was good. 1.5 there. Okay, as long as it's, oh wow, no, that's too far. Okay, so we're gonna go with 2 there. That's it. There's your neutral zone. The moment you come out of the zone, the moment you get a close below the zone, the moment you get a close above the zone, it has one more leg higher. If it has a close below the zone, it's over. So if you're holding on to any Ethereum, I mean, you can hold on and pray and hope, but you better get the hell out, or I would get the hell out. You guys can do whatever the hell you want. You can convert all your life savings to Ethereum and your child education and everything you own, but make sure you also include internet access, because when you lose every penny on Ethereum, I don't want you in my comment section. So if you're gonna bet everything on Ethereum, make sure you're putting so much money into Ethereum that you can no longer afford internet to comment on my streams. Sand Snake, I'm pretty bullish on gold. I didn't really see much of a triangle. Maybe on a lower level time frame, you can say there was a triangle. I don't know. I don't see a triangle. I see this moving average being an incredible support. I see this, I envision this trend line being incredible support. There's lots of reasons to believe in gold right now. And gold looks really good. Really good. Word on the street is GME is buying Bitcoin. Good. Good for GME. Okay, so now that I've been as bullish as I can be, I'm not going to look at other shit coins. They're irrelevant. Oh, I'm loving this. Oh, boy. Oh, what do you think happens to Solana once it breaks the new lows? Ha. Awesome. Okay, so the one thing I want to say is, oh, this looks nice. Oh, it's a new hour. It looks nice. I don't like this pullback here, actually. It looks nice overall, but man, would have been nice to see a new hourly close. We couldn't maintain the MRI count. That's okay. That's not a big deal. Okay, I gotta say, I don't have a good logic behind me. We are in the bullish part of the cycle, and but I just don't have this feeling like Bitcoin is going to break out. Okay, so remember everything I said earlier. All the charts look incredibly bullish. I am 100% long Bitcoin. I should be 100% long Bitcoin. Everything is bullish across the board. But I get this spidey sense that there's just not a lot of buyers left. The retail buyer is tapped out. And we are now solely dependent on corporate buyers and institutional buyers and maybe government buyers. And the retail buyer is just not interested in Bitcoin. At least that's how it feels to me. Like, the charts are very bullish, but shit to me just doesn't feel like it's a bullish environment. So even though I'm 100% bullish, it's just, I don't know. I'm not screaming at the top of my lungs for my friends and family to buy Bitcoin right now, right? Sometimes I do that at all-time highs, and sometimes I do that, uh, when we're bottoming, especially like what happened when we hit 20,000 and stuff. But I don't know. It's just something is concerning me, whether it's the potential for a serious global escalation, which I'm going to talk about on my personal channel, whether just, and the stock market is also very bullish, but it just doesn't feel stable to me. It's just like things are on edge right now, and I'm just not very confident. Usually, I am incredibly confident when new all-time highs are made, but for some reason, I'm not all that confident today. Now, it is not reflecting in my positions because I'm going to trust the charts over my feelings. But my feelings are, it's just something doesn't feel right. Tone, last year you said the stock market would be at all-time high and no one will know why. That's when everyone was bearish on Biden economy. That's right. That's right. And right now, I am that person, right? Right now, I think Trump is doing a terrible job. We can debate, you guys can debate me all you like. Um, we can discuss this on my personal channel. I'm not going to talk about it on this channel. I am a huge Trump supporter, but I am incredibly disappointed in Trump. And I think Trump is running a terrible presidency. But yet, the stock market is about to hit new all-time high. So I have become the person that I said was gonna be that person during the Biden economy, where the stock market would hit new all-time highs even under Biden, and no one would know why, and no one would trust it. Okay, and now we're seeing that with Trump right now. Okay, someone's asking me to check Bitcoin. Oh, nice. We're back to 108. Beautiful. Yeah, I just didn't like that hourly close, but I know that Bitcoin trades 24/7, and don't put everything on a single hourly close. I would love to see a new hourly high. In fact, if this hourly high breaks last hour, if this hourly close breaks last hourly high, I'm incredibly, incredibly bullish on Bitcoin. But I'm only bullish on Bitcoin from a charting perspective. From everything like the cycle, the charts, all the talk from corporations. If GME is buying Bitcoin, if MicroStrategy is buying Bitcoin, more companies are buying Bitcoin. States are doing a strategic reserve. Trump is talking about buying a bunch of shit coins, which will eventually be converted to Bitcoin. He'll have no choice with the strategic reserve. So everything is bullish, except uh, except I just don't like where the world's headed, and that's making me a little bit concerned. And you would think that with the problems in the world, Bitcoin would do well, but as we've seen on numerous and numerous occasions, every time the world runs into a problem, Bitcoin crashes. Bitcoin is not a hedge against global problems. Bitcoin does better when the S&P 500 goes up, when everything is honky-dory. What do you think about ARK and Cathie Wood in general? I don't really think about it much, guys. I don't know where the ARK is these days. Um, I mean, it looks bullish. I mean, maybe they've, stopped some of the stupidity they were doing before that caused this massive crash. But it looks bullish. MRI top incoming, so we'll see. Yeah, Texas approved the reserve. Arizona approved something that's quasi-reserve. I don't know. Anyway, this video has lasted long enough. Thank you all so much for joining. See you on the next one with Matt McGregor. Check out his links at the bottom of this video, and he'll be back hosting his show on this channel after his fight, and hopefully we all get to watch that tomorrow in about 24 hours. Bye, guys. I'm going to do my political stream on my channel later today. Probably going to do a Russia-Ukraine update, and then we'll take it from there. I want to do a couple of political videos this week. I haven't done them in like 4 or 5 months. A lot of shit's happened, and I'm somewhat up to date now that I've had some time to relax. Thank you all for watching, guys. Thank you again for those that came out to Unconfiscatable. We got hoodies now. I don't know where you can buy these. There's going to be a website. Once the website is up to buy these hoodies, they're expensive, but they're so warm. Like, it's actually cold out here. I'm in the north woods of Pennsylvania, and it's super nice up here, and this hoodie, definitely the shit. Bye, guys.